I'm about to create the ultimate collection of tier lists for Prodigy Math Game. There are a lot of categories to rank, so let's just get straight into it. Alright, so the first category that we are going to rank is the 5 elemental areas in the Prodigy world. And I'm not going to rank them based on their difficulty, because then it would just be Firefly Forest, then Shiverchill Mountains, Skywatch would be the highest. And I'm not going to rank them based on the pets they have, because I think they're all pretty equal on that. They're all pretty good for the pets that they have. But what I am going to rank them on is their storyline, their current quests, how necessary they are to achieving the greater good in the Prodigy world. And if they have any secrets or like extra areas, that would also bump them up as well. So, a good place to start for Firefly Forest, right in the middle. It doesn't have any secret areas, but it does serve as a good base. Its first few quests were revamped to be more like the tutorial, have better storyline. Florian got involved in it, and the Puppet Master did some bad stuff to him, which I think spread to the rest of the forest, which made us have to check on Gerald, but that hasn't really changed. My only issue with the storyline, because they changed half of it, is that they kind of just had to force the later half of it to make sense. Like, somehow Flora just knew that the Trip Top Trio stole the broken flute out of all things. So yeah, that's just a little bit weird. But other than that, it's pretty good. B is a good place to put it. Okay, now Shiverchill Mountains. The main goal is just to light up 3 of the furnaces. My main issue with this area is just between the first and the second power crystal, there's just so many detours that we have to take, and I feel like most of them are pointless. Like, sure, fighting the ice room twice is pretty cool. You only get multiple bosses in one area, but like just having to save a miner and then go find a spoon from a chest, which is useless, and then um checking the throne room just because, and also like fighting cloakers. Like, what was the point of fighting cloakers? But okay, whatever. The other thing I like is that you get to find the 4th power crystal on your own if you want, and that gets you a pretty good weapon. At least it was pretty good. But now I don't think it's that good anymore. The Majol Ice. Yeah. So I think I would put it in B as well. Is it higher than Firefly Forest? I'm not really sure, but B is okay for it. Now, Bonfire Spire. I think this set of quests is the most pointless out of any area, because unlike the other areas where the Puppet Master has done something bad, here you're just trying to help Slurpee cook, and that's it. So yeah, like, it just makes you think, why are we going through all the trouble just for this? So yeah, that's really annoying. But I do like that once you get like the Boots of Hot Walk, you can access 2 sort of secret areas, but that doesn't really do much. I don't really know what stuff the member chests have. I think they're all member chests. So as a non-member, that's even more useless. So I think I'm just gonna put it in a C tier. Okay, now Shipwreck Shore. I think the objective of this was to find out which Puppet Master summoned sea monster was terrorizing this area and defeat it. Simple. And the quests were all pretty short as well, I think. I just remember it was way easier to complete these quests than the other ones, which is good. I really like that. That means all the quests, they actually were related to completing the overall mission. And it also has some pretty pretty good additional areas that you can go to. And one of the chests contains the Montoya's Blade, which actually is a pretty good weapon, at least for some amount of time. So I'm gonna put it in the A tier. Now, finally, Skywatch. Skywatch definitely has the most interesting layout, having 3 sections that you can go to. The objective is, I think it's just kind of just put it back in working condition, trim all the vines that are disrupting the machines, defeat the 3 clouds, the 3 villain clouds that are sort of guarding those machines. I really like, by the way, because you get to fight 4 bosses in one storyline, which is pretty nice. And I think the only thing I don't like is when you have to like collect a bunch of stuff from each zone. So you have to walk a lot and backtrack a lot. But overall, I still think it's one of the better ones. I'm gonna put it behind Shipwreck Shore. So yeah, I think this is a pretty good tier list for the elemental areas. Obviously, apart from elemental areas, Prodigy has also added a ton of additional areas that have come and went. So I thought, why not rank all of these as well? Okay, so first we have Clockwork Town. These 4 quests were just so good because 3 of the quests is just boss battles. You fight a team of 3 robots, then 4 robots, then 5 robots. And because all of these were different elements, this was the only area where you could actually get some sort of real challenge in Old Prodigy. And of course, you can also get the W12RD name from this area, the iconic nickname. The dancing minigame was also there, and this was the only place where you could get robot pets. And the good thing is, these quests, they refresh every single day. So this would be a very, very good source of experience as well in Old Prodigy, where it was really, really hard to level up. So I'm gonna put it in A tier. It's Clockwork Town is one of my favorite areas, despite all of these being added. So yeah. Now the Dark Tower. I don't really know what the Dark Tower is like right now. It's probably fallen off over the years because of all the battle system changes. But if I were to go off Old Prodigy, obviously I said Clockwork Town was the only source of a real challenge. Dark Tower would also be a challenge, but you had to be a member and you still have to be a member to do it. But like going into floor 75 and 80 as a level 60, like that's what I'm doing when I play Old Prodigy right now. It's also a good source of experience, actually, if you think about it. You get extra stars for being underleveled and winning these fights. But also, like, the iconic floor 80 where you had to fight a group of 5 level 100 wizards, and of course it got nerfed. So now I think Dark Tower is sort of just underwhelming. And I don't know how hard the final boss is anymore. But I think just, it's a classic. I can't put it that low. It has to be in an A tier as well. Okay, now the Dragon Isle. I'm gonna be honest, I think it's overrated. The middle rift, like for a while we were just stuck at Rift 24. It just got old real quick. It is a good challenge. It is like the only place where you could get some sort of challenge in Prodigy right now. But it's just not worth it, really. Like the gear that you get from fighting the dragons, you get better stuff from hard mode. And the left and right side rifts, I don't really play them. The restrictions aren't really that fun for me, but I think other people would like it. And I have no opinion on the shop because I don't play those rifts, so I don't really get any currency. But I think I'll put it in B tier. That might be a bit controversial. I just don't like it as much as the other areas, these 2 areas. Okay, Crystal Caverns. This was also pretty hyped, a pretty hyped up area. But honestly, when I finished it, I was a little bit disappointed because I thought it was gonna be some huge adventure, like they said, that would take like days to complete. But you can literally complete it in 20 minutes. I made a speedrun video where I finished it, I think, in like 1954, 19 minutes and 54 seconds. But I did really like the concept. The crystal monsters were fun. I liked having a bunch of bosses. Of course, that was also where you could get Shiver Tusk, and the buddies are also pretty cool. But I just wished it was much longer. So B tier. I think I don't know if it's better than Dragon Isle. I think Dragon Isle, you have more things to do. Crystal Caverns, it's literally the same thing over and over again. At least Dragon Isle, you fight a bunch of different monster groups. Okay, I also put the epic subspace here. I think it makes sense for it to be here. Obviously, if you don't have epics, this would be useless. But I did have a few epics. My old account had Magmischief, Big Hex, and Divodile. My current account had Luma and Eclipse. I wish they gave more XP for them because it seemed like it was the only that it was a training ground specifically meant to really power up the epic dragons, but they didn't really do that much. So I think just based on just because of its restrictions and how underwhelming it was, C tier. Okay, Harmony Island. Harmony Island is awesome. Both Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. I will say some of the rift runs do get a bit annoying, but I really like the concept of having these rifts. And I like that the battles were also more fast paced. That was fun. The ancient battles were awesome. Like, I don't really have any more complaints on it. Like, it had the same sort of adventure feel as Crystal Caverns, but it was just way better. So, and of course, like it had some extra lore that you could find through like the stones and a bunch of more armor, equipment, potions. Yeah, I think this deserves the S tier, and a lot of us are excited for it to be coming back. I think that got leaked or something. I'm also really excited for it to come back. So yeah. Now the Lost Island. I wish they did more with it. The wood currency, I don't really know what it was for, but I still have them. They haven't really been used anywhere. But I guess the unique thing about the Lost Island is that this was the only place where you could find evolved pets in Prodigy at this time. But unfortunately, you couldn't rescue them. But it did have a mini quest that didn't really do that much. So I think just based on how little it has, despite having evolved pets, I think it'll get the C tier. Okay, I don't really know why I put the Wizard Dash here, but it is some sort of extra thing you could do. Uh, I think B tier is fine for it. It's always fun for me just to try to find new ways to win, and it is a decent source of XP because the battles do go pretty quickly. Okay, Tower Town, of course, that goes in D tier. I've not touched that place since its release in like 2020. It's been 5 years. They should honestly just remove it because I don't know who actually plays Tower Town anymore. But yeah, I think this looks pretty nice for a tier list. Um, I feel like Winterfest is just it's in the middle. I don't really find anything special about it, but it's there. I do wish that they added a different boss for this year's Winterfest, because we've seen the ice room from Shivertal Mountains. I thought maybe they would do something else like what they did with Starlight Festival or Pumpkin Fest. Yeah, I don't really know what to think of Winterfest other than that. Okay, Starlight Festival. It definitely had the most changes. All of them were pretty good. I do like the what they did with it this year after a long time of not having it. Um, I think the first time Starlight Festival was added was to sort of advertise the epic dragons that were coming to Prodigy. So they had dragonflies as the currency and a bunch of good dragon equipment. That was really cool. And then of course, this was the first festival where you could buy a bunch of pets, like the 5 starter pets. So I would have put it in S tier, but because it hasn't been there for like a few years between, I'll put it in A tier. Okay, Springfest. I mean, I'm sure when it comes next year, it's gonna be similar to Winterfest and Pumpkin Fest and Starlight Fest, how they are right now. But so far, Springfest I think is probably the worst festival. I do like the storyline of foxes versus bunnies, that you can kind of choose where you want to go, but the equipment they give, the stuff they sell, it's the most underwhelming of all of these festivals. And there hasn't really been much other than just buying stuff. So I don't want to put it in D tier. I think C tier is fine for it. Okay, Summerfest. First of all, I just want to say the music for Summerfest, very fire. The equipment that they sell, even like when it was first added, really nice stuff. I'm really glad that they brought back some of the stuff that you couldn't get for like years, like the Draconix, the Phantom Cloak, Sun Orb Staff. Really nice stuff, and a bunch of the member stuff. Yeah, and they're also the first festival to have exclusive hairstyles. I think that's Summerfest is where I got my Flame Dancer Gary hairstyle for a long time before I changed it back. So yeah, really cool stuff. I think Summerfest will also go into the A tier. Now, finally, Pumpkin Fest. I think the Pumpkin Fest music is also really good. Maybe better than Summerfest, but the stuff they sell, I think I don't remember it being that great, which is pretty sad. Um, they were the first group to have a boss, which is Hollow Jack, which is pretty nice, but I think I'll put it just under Summerfest. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Pumpkin Fest was also the first festival to ever be added to Prodigy. So yeah, there's a bit of that to it. So I think this is pretty good. Okay, so Prodigy has added a lot of mounts for some reason, so might as well rank them all. I do think that they should have just stopped at the first three, the Fluffy Cloud, the Rainbow Cloud, and the Flower Bush mount, but here we are, so maybe I'll go based off looks just a little bit, but I will go on the Prodigy wiki right now on my other monitor, and I'm going to look at their stats and I'm going to rank them mostly based on that. I think I'll leave it at that. Maybe I'll put some of these in S tier, but as you can kind of tell, I don't really like putting things in the S tier because nothing is really that overpowered. So yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. Also, I guess the other thing that would make me put it in S tier is that it's available to everyone. So yeah, I think this is pretty good. Moving on to pets. As you can see here, I have a bunch of fire types. No, I'm not ranking fire pets. I'm ranking pet types that these guys represent. Now, I know I made a video already on what is the best pet type and the worst pet type, but I feel like it wasn't the most accurate because I think some of these guys just won because of luck or other factors. So I'm going to rank them once again. So first here we have Speedy. Okay, they have a 3-hit, which is one of the weakest spells that there is. And then they have a 5-hit, which is pretty good. Some pets can use it on their first turn, others can't. And they have a 2-hit AoE, which isn't bad, and they can heal. By the way, the spells I'm talking about, these are before the spell effects. Because obviously this is going to change right after. But I think the fact that they have no randoms, that is pretty good. Their spells aren't really the strongest, but they're not terrible. I do wish that they had something better than a heal. Because a single ally healing isn't really that great. I think B is a good spot to put it. Okay, forces, as shown by Flame Creator. Their single target is another 3-hit multiple as a fully evolved force, and of course all these are going to be fully evolved. They have 3 AoEs, a 1-hit, a 2-hit, and a 5-hit. Sometimes the 2-hit is actually weaker than the 1-hit, which is stupid. I don't know why some of the physical spells are just that weak, like Fury and Body Slam. They actually do less damage than Whirlwind. So there's that. The thing about these guys, even though they have 3 AoEs, they can really only use the 1-hit or the 2-hit on their first turn, and that's something basically everyone here can do. So they're really not that special. And they don't even have that much health that guarantees them to survive to even do the 5-hit spell, and the 5-hit spell isn't even that great. So I think it's a C tier. Because if you want something to do AoEs, just use the wizard. The wizard is very good at doing that. Okay, wild pets. They're also not great. Their single target spell, which isn't random, is better than the force's single target spells. And if there is like just one boss that you're fighting, then it's fine to have these randoms because you can just keep switching between them, do good amounts of damage really. But otherwise they're not that great. I think some of the wild pets, like if they're a 2-stage wild pet, then they might get another single target spell, like what would originally be the 7-power spell in the old battle system. That would be really great for other situations. And their AoE is probably stronger than all of the forces ones, which is crazy. But you can't use it on the first turn. That's the only drawback. But honestly, are they better than forces? I don't know. They're not going above the C tier. I'll leave them at that. Yeah. Okay, strikers. I do think that they are still the worst pet type. Because they're meant to do a lot of damage with just everything, but they have a pretty weak single target spell. They have a random that wild pets also have. That is their strongest spell, but sometimes that's also just as strong as their single target spell, which then makes it essentially a useless spell. Like if you're an Astral Pet, the random spell you would have is Meteorite. It's the same power as Astral Blast. And of course, you also have the basic AoE spell. And your strongest single target spell that isn't random would be a 3-hit, but it's like the stronger version of the 3-hit, which isn't great. Like, honestly, if I were to buff them, I would have their single target spell be the strong 3-hit and the 7-power spell from the old battle system. So I don't think they're a D, but they're definitely like the bottom of C. Okay, versatile pets. I do think a lot of the versatile pets are changing from the spell effects, but before that update, these guys are pretty garbage. They have the weak 3-hit multiple, a 2-hit AoE. That's okay. They have a group heal, and then they have a random that has a cooldown. Or if they don't have the random, then they have the stronger 3-hit, which is still weaker than what the um the speedy guys have. And from what I've seen, all of the versatile guys have really bad stats. But I think that's but I think if you had like a mythical epic that's a versatile, then it's actually pretty good. So I think just based on my experiences with the versatile pets, they have to be in C, but I know they have the potential to be better. Just yeah, I think high C tier. But clearly, as you can see, none of the pets are really that great in current Prodigy. Okay, Power Main represents the Protector pets. Protector pets are fine. They have the very strong single target spell, and they also have a random, which it's fine. Randoms are usually pretty strong. It's just the problem is some elements, their strong single target spell actually has two turns of cooldown instead of one, which then makes it so that there's one turn where you have to use an AoE or a heal, which isn't ideal, but it's okay. The good thing is they do have a group heal, and their AoE is it's fine. It's okay. So are they better than the speedy pets? Um, I don't know. They could be. I know there's some of these pets that have the 7 power spell, which has no cooldown. So that just makes them a much more reliable source of damage. Okay, healers. Now, healers are the ones that won the pet type tournament. I actually don't know how they did it, but I guess because these guys have a lot of order, so they always move first. They have AoEs. They have the basic AoE. They have the 3-hit single target spell. Somehow that was enough to do the job, and they do have a lot of health. But apart from that, there's nothing special about them. They do have 2 healing spells, but only the group one is really useful. So I don't know where to put them. Like everything tells me that the protectors are just better, but yet healers were the ones that come out on top. So I'm gonna put them in B. What I will say is the epics that are protectors, their spells do not change, but the epics that are healers, they get insanely strong spells. Like they get the what is basically the strongest AoE spell there is, and they also get the 7 power single target spell. So you know what, just because of that, I'm gonna put them in the high B tier. I don't think they deserve A just yet. Yeah, I'll leave it like that. Okay, sturdy pets. These guys, these guys really have. They don't even have that much health. Defense is probably one of the most useless stats there is, and they have absolutely no power and dodge. But their spells aren't terrible. Tarragon actually has Blaze, which is the strongest AoE spell, but most of them have the basic one-hit AoE. They have the weak single target, the very strong single target, and either the mid single target or a random that these guys have. So, based on spells alone, this is definitely better than Strikers. Probably better than Wild as well, but maybe not better than the Force. Okay, finally, the Helper pets. I was going into the pet type tournament thinking that Helpers were going to win. They have a good amount of health. Their stats are similar to the healers basically, but they do have less order. But that shouldn't affect things too much. Now their spells, they have the group AoE heal. They have two very strong single target spells. They have the strong one hit spell, and they could either have, well, Tie Scout has the 3-hit spell, the strong 3-hit spell, and but most of them would have the 5-hit spell, which is pretty good. And they also have the 2-hit AoE. So in terms of spells, they're just better than protectors in every way. And of course, they're also better than healers. Now, I'm guessing if I were to put healers against helpers, helpers would probably win. So I'm gonna put them in the A tier. How about that? But yeah, as you can see, just use your wizard if you want damage. The pets are really just support. The wizard would obviously be in like S+ tier compared to these guys. So yeah. Alright, so Prodigy has also had quite a few arenas over its lifetime. So might as well rank all of these as well. These images might be a bit confusing, but I will explain what all these are. This arena caller, we're going to start with this. This is the original arena where you could fight against other real players. So this is where you were able to get the gold armor, the phantom armor, and the Draconix armor. So I think there were ranks for like bronze, silver, and gold. And you were able to get a maximum of, I think it was 5,000 arena points. And the other notable thing about this is that there was a leaderboard for the top few players in the world. And I think I remember tryharding this arena so much that I think I was in the top 30 for quite a long time. So that's pretty good. I think that's one of the things I liked more about the old arenas is that I was able to get some clout for being one of the top players in the arena. But yeah, I think it's a solid place to go and be because obviously it was quite a grind to get that high, but it's solid. Okay, so now this is Clank Boot. If you guys remember him from old Prodigy, great guy, this guy. But this is for the Colosseum, where you could fight a new wizard, not a real player, an NPC, every 5 levels. And back in old Prodigy, when you were just fighting like one monster endlessly, this was definitely a nice change. And it was a little bit of a challenge, but obviously our wizard could just take on most of their team. But it was definitely a nice addition. And it's not there wasn't that much to it, so I'll put it in a B tier as well. So it's solid. Okay, now the dual stadium. This is the newest sort of arena that we have, and we still have it today. Well, the thing I don't like about it, there's no real rewards other than gold, and you're only limited to 4 fights a day if you're a non-member, and even if you're a member, you can only fight like 8 times a day or something, which that's pretty bad when all I want to do is just do dual stadium fights. And the other thing I don't like about it is that you can't fight real players anymore. Now I guess it's probably because people kept doing like the tap trick where you would just get all of your arena points by not doing anything. So I guess it makes sense, but it's just so boring to fight the NPCs all the time. When like the spell choices that they use are just so weird, and eventually they get programmed to be like 3 levels higher than you, so it forces you to lose. So a lot of things I just don't like about this new arena. The elemental bonuses are nice, but honestly I would prefer just a real PvP challenge with just no bonuses at all. So actually I'm gonna put this in the C tier. Now with Princey Spell, this was the Harmony Island arena. Now this had I think monthly or bi-monthly seasons where you could get some pretty dang good equipment like the Celestial Armor or the Gold Armor, whatever it's called. The Cake Attire, like the top armor. So that's good. And of course it uses runes from Harmony Island. You get a bunch of good stuff like the Rainbow Cloud I think you can get from here, some nice Morph Marbles, Buddies. It's definitely one of the top arenas I'd say. The only bad thing is that you would fight NPCs again, but it's not as bad as the dual stadium I'd say. But I think it's honestly more enjoyable than the OG arena. So I'm going to put in the A tier. And finally, This Sparkle Hamster, the reason I use this image is because this was like the second edition of the arena seasons. Well, I guess this is the second edition of the arena, but this is the first time where they implemented seasons. I think there was monthly seasons, and if you get a certain number of points, you would get one piece of equipment of an entire set, like the Black Knight set, the Harpooner set, a bunch of pretty good equipment. And of course, if you're in the top 1000, you would get the Sparkle Hamster or a Sparkle Kitty or some pretty good buddy. So there's definitely more to it than the OG arena. And here you could actually fight real players. The only problem was that lots of players would just try to cheese the system by doing the tab trick. But other than that, definitely one of the better arenas, I'd say. I think it's in the same level as Harmony Island Arena. So yeah, that is the tier list for the arenas of Prodigy. Now we are going to rank the current, well, not really current anymore, but the spells from the 2025 battle system right before the spell effects got added, because I was coming up with all of these images before the spell effects got added. Maybe I'll rank the spell effects in a later video, but for now, let's just do these ones, because I think they'll still be here to stay, at least partly. So let's start with, obviously I used the fire spell versions of all of these categories, but some of the elements are slightly different for each spell, so I will take note of that. But let's start with Heat Spell. This is a 2-hit single target multiple attack, and it's definitely one of the weaker spells. Like, you definitely don't want to use this if you are a high tier pet, so you're gonna be in the C tier. Fire Barrage is the 3-hit multiple, and I don't think its total damage is actually that much stronger than the 2-hit at all. So yeah, you're also gonna stay here. Maybe I'll switch these around, but I think these two are equal. Now, as for Inferno, this is the 3-hit multiple that is a bit stronger, but it has 1-turn recharge. But honestly, if you have another single target spell that you can use, which most pets do, the recharge doesn't really matter. So you can be in the B tier. Magma Stream is the 5-hit single target spell. It's pretty strong, definitely pretty strong. Some elements you can't use it on the first turn, but other elements you can, which is a pretty big advantage. Overall, it has potential to do a lot of damage if you get a bunch of crits. So yeah, you can be there. Okay, so that's all the multiple spells. Now, these are the AoEs. There's actually a lot of AoE spells. Wow, I didn't even notice. Okay, Tinders is the weakest AoE spell. What I've seen is that the first turn you cannot use it, but then it has no recharge. And it's the only spell to have no recharge. But the fact that you can't use it on the first turn, that's pretty bad, considering it's also super weak. So I think you'll be in the C tier. I would put you above the multiples, because overall the AoE spells do more damage than any single target spell can do if there are 3 pets. Now Embers, it can always be used on the first turn, but it has 1 recharge and it's pretty weak. I'll put it at the bottom of B tier. Heat Wave is just Embers but slightly stronger, so yeah, you can be there. Now Blaze, this is the one where I think this is honestly the strongest AoE spell there is, other than All Out Attack. It has 1 recharge only compared to the later one, which has two recharge, and it's pretty strong. Like, the thing about the 5-hit spells is that they have a high chance to be dodged, and if they get dodged even once, then Blaze just does more damage. So I think Blaze it'll be here, because I think Blaze even does more damage to a single target than Starbit would, which only does damage to one single target. So yeah, you can go there. Now, Firestorm. Um, some elements can use the 2-hit multiple on the first turn, others can't. Now, the thing about this spell, some of the physical spells, I don't know why, like Fury and um, Body Slam, I think I mentioned this already, but they just do less damage than the 1-hit AoE, which definitely brings it down. But it should normally do more damage. So I think I'll put it above Inferno, actually. Okay, now Pyroblast, like I said, it's the 5-hit AoE spell. No one can use on the first turn, and it has a 2-turn recharge. After the battle system got revamped, this thing actually, it really isn't that strong. Like Blaze is, I would definitely take Blaze over Pyroblast, but I think it deserves to be in the A tier. Yeah, I think Magma Stream is still better though. Okay, now all out attack. It's cut off, but that's definitely all out attack. Without a doubt, S tier. Just lots of damage, even if you can only use it once. But now that the battles are longer, I do wish that you could use all out attack more than once. Like maybe give it a 3-turn recharge or something. Okay, now. Okay, these are the healing spells. So Cauterize is the self-healing, which I think if it's on the right pet, it could be more beneficial than an ally heal. And it also heals you more as well. So, is it better than Firestorm? Is it better than Inferno? 30% is a lot. Okay. I'll put it above Inferno. Okay, Soothing Flirt, this is the ally heal, so you can't heal yourself. The good thing is that you can, if you're a pet, you can just heal the wizard with this. Normally it does a pretty good amount. I'll put it right below Cauterize. And Heat Therapy, this is the AoE heal, obviously. It can come in clutch. So I'll put it here. Is it better than Pyroblast? I think it can heal the same amount as Pyroblast can do. But if Pyroblast gets dodged, then Heat Therapy is just better. So I will do that. Okay, now we have a bunch of random spells. Now, the random spells are still a bit confusing to me. Some of these I'm just like, why do they even exist? But okay, Kindle. It's not very strong, but it has no recharge at all. So you can just use it every turn. But just being a random makes it not that great. Like, I would take Embers over Kindle, to be honest. But it could be a reliable single, like if there was a single boss, it could be a reliable form of damage. Eruption is, I think, it's stronger than Kindle. It has 1 recharge, but honestly, that doesn't matter too much if you have another spell that can do a good amount of damage. Like if you're a protector, you would have Eruption and then a 9 power spell. So that's fine. So Eruption would definitely, I would put it above Embers. Probably not above Heatwave though. So yeah. Now Combust is that's the one where you can't use it on the first turn, but you can use it every turn after that. But the thing is, for some elements, like for Astral, this random spell is actually even weaker than Kindle. And for the ice spell, the ice version of this, it's also like a lot weaker for some reason. So that definitely brings it down. I think Eruption is just more reliable than that. And I think I'll actually put it below Embers as well, just because of how bad it is for some elements. Okay, now the 1-hit single target ones. And this is in order of how strong they are. So Flame would be the equivalent of Starbit. And like I said, this would be, I think this is actually weaker than Blaze, even though Blaze is meant to hit everyone. So this will, I think it's weaker than Fire Barrage as well. So this will go in the C tier. Fireball, okay. For the longest time, I thought that Fire Barrage, being something that hits 3 times, would at least do more damage than Fireball. I was wrong. I just found out that Fireball as a one-hit spell, still does more damage than Fire Barrage, and probably does more damage than Heat Spout as well, which is extremely sad. But I also found out that the ice version of this Cho Splinter actually does less damage than Fire Barrage. But I think being one hit, it's more reliable because it should have a little bit more aim than Fire Barrage and Heat Spout as well. Okay, Flame Burst. This is like the 7 power spell in the older battle system. This is probably the best single target spell there is if you didn't have any other option. But obviously if you had like Volcanon and Eruption, that would be a better combo than just having Flame Burst. But still, obviously it's better than Kindle. I think Flame Burst and Kindle actually have the same power. It's definitely better than Combust. Is it better than... I might put it above Eruption, because the power difference isn't that much. Yeah, I'll do that. I'm starting to think Kindle should probably be in C, because Flame Burst is just infinitely better. You know, I'll do that. Okay, now Volcanon. This is the same as Overload, Galactic Glow, Crunch, Sever, those types of spells. They're mostly good. Some of these, I think the plant pets cannot use it on the first turn. That might be a complete lie. But I know some, like Water and Ice, they have a recharge of 2, while most of these have a recharge of 1. So pets like Aquamarina and Frostro actually struggle to do reliable forms of damage because their strongest spell has 2 turns of recharge. But for most pets, 1 turn of recharge isn't too bad, so I would still put it above Flame Burst. It's better than Inferno as well. Oh, I didn't realize Inferno was that high up. Okay, well, I'm starting to feel like this. I need to change this ranking up a bit. I don't think Magma Stream should be that high up. But Volcanon is definitely better than Magma Stream. Like, its one hit does more damage than all 5 of its hits combined. Okay, okay, Inferno versus Flame Burst. Does Inferno do more damage? I think Inferno and Flame Burst actually do the same amount of damage. Okay, yeah, you will go over here. I think you might be the top of B tier actually. Maybe like this. Yeah. I think I'm okay with that. Okay, now Conflagration. This is the mythical epic single target spell. Now, I don't know what Prodigy is doing, but ever since they changed the power of all of these spells, the mythical epic spell is actually weaker than Volcanon. And it doesn't have a recharge. So you can only use it once for something that isn't even strong. So I don't know what they're doing there. It's definitely, it's just a waste of a spell slot, honestly. Worse than Flame Burst, worse than Inferno. I think all the way down here. Yeah. Okay, so that's all the spells that were here before the spell effects update. But now they also added a random multiple spell, which is, I think it hits 2 times. It has a recharge of 2 for some reason, even though I'm pretty sure its total amount of damage is supposed to be the same as like Eruption. So it's just worse. It's just worse in every way. I think this will go in the C tier. Kindle's probably better than it as well. Okay, and now I think what might be the worst spell in the game. Obviously I cut off the spell effects update, the spell effect portion of the spell, but it's a random healing spell. Why would anyone ever want to have to gamble to heal the right guy for 11% of their health? Like, no. This is definitely the worst spell to ever exist. Next up, we are going to be ranking the eras of Prodigy, which I roughly divided through the battle system changes and also the wizard design changes. So let's just start with the oldest version. And I'm just going to be ranking these based on how much I like their battling system and how much I like the wizard design. Nothing else really. So with the oldest version of Prodigy, obviously I think most of us liked this wizard design the most. So if it was just based on wizard design, it would be like an A tier. But as much as it gives me nostalgia, the battling system, it's not that great. Like, especially when you're level 100, the battles just take forever, and the source of, like, it takes so long to level something up to 100, and like there's just not much variety of pets due to there only being 6 spells of each element, and yeah. But I think the wizard design definitely carries us up to a B, otherwise it would probably go into a C. Now, this, it already looks pretty bad. I really do not like this wizard design. But the battling system didn't really change that much. I guess they added epic attacks and potions. That was a good addition. Leveling up, I think actually got harder with this update, because before, when you got member stars, you would get member stars for every single pet possible, but now the member stars only go to one guy, and it's the guy that actually did the battling. So that's pretty bad. But they also added critical hits in here. So, I mean, I can't put it down to a C, because they did add a pretty good amount of stuff to the battles, but the wizard design is just so bad. You know, I have to put it in the C tier, just for that terrible wizard design. Okay, now this is when they really revamped everything. The pets were divided into kind of the high health ones and the low health ones. If you had higher health, you do a lot less damage. If you had lower health, you do more damage. This was probably the only era where having less health was actually better. Now the wizard design stayed the same. I think potions were still there, critical hits were still there. This is when they added the all-out attack. And the battling system was pretty cool. They also made it a lot easier to level up in this era, which I liked. So I'll put it here, high B tier. And even though this shows the Harmony Island, like, I'm not ranking it based on what they added, what sorts of updates they added during that era. So okay, here we go. This is the 2023 battling system update. This is where pets actually got, like, there was actually a lot of variety in pets, because every pet had their own stats, even if they were similar to others. They were mostly unique. They all had their own spells and stuff. But this was where, like, the wizard for a while was just pretty useless, because the only astral spell that existed was Starbit. And then, like, physical pets were definitely interesting. I do think Prodigy made a good decision to change them back to an actual element. But I guess the only other problem I had with this battling system was that the battles went too fast. Like, most things just get one-shotted. But I mean, it's good if you want to level up really fast, but the battles do get pretty boring eventually. But I do like this new battling system. The wizard design, you get used to it. I think it's not much better than the previous design. It's not terrible either, I guess. So yeah, A tier. And now finally the current era, where speed has now become order and dodge. Everything has thousands of health again. But the pet types really ruined it for me. Like, like the variety that the pets had in this update, that just got completely removed. Because Pyromane and Iron Cone are exactly the same pet, except Iron Cone has slightly better stats because it's a legendary. But I will say this era has a lot of potential to be great. Like they're already adding spell effects. The battles are longer again, which makes them more fun because maybe some strategy is needed. And they also gave us more magic points to make up for the longer battles, which is good. I think overall it has a lot of potential to be great. So I'll put it in the high A tier. So yeah, I think this is pretty good. Okay, of course you can't do a Prodigy tier list without ranking the membership packs. Like, membership is the one, it's the thing, it's the one thing that they've continuously advertised throughout all of these 10 years, and now they're literally adding videos after every single battle for us to watch, which is really annoying. And I kind of want to rank this current era down a bit just because of this, just because of these videos, because they're so annoying. But yeah, I have 5 packs here that we're gonna rank. These first 2 are the older packs, so these are removed, but I think it's good to rank them anyway. So this is the level up membership, basically the basic membership that you would get. According to the wiki, this was billed at $6.25 a month, approximately, and benefits, the usual benefits, just all the membership gears, items and stuff, maybe more currency, level up faster, member chests, mythical epics, the member boxes, rescuing unlimited amounts of pets, because back then you could only rescue 10, and evolving pets. Now this was, I guess back then it was okay because that was in the era where evolving pets does not actually make them any stronger, so that's fine. I mean, I don't really know how high to put it. I think B, just average, how it should be. Okay, now this is the ultimate membership. I just remember this being a complete scam. Okay, wiki says $30 per month. So it's almost 5 times as expensive as the level up membership. And the only benefits you get from this is everything from the member box, everything from the level up membership, 30 extra item choices that parents can gift to their kids through goals. I guess you need parents to do more stuff, to be more involved with Prodigy and everything, if you want them to buy the ultimate membership. But I think the only in-game thing you get is an ultimate member box, which is literally just one pet and an item for $30 a month. Huge scam. D tier. Okay, now these are the current packs. I actually don't know what they contain. All I know is that Ultra has the most magic coin and stuff. But let's see. Core is $9.95 per month. The usual membership items: level up faster, more charge levels, 350 magic coin per month, and mythical epics and the Dark Tower. And of course you get Dark Tower in these membership packs as well. I mean, I guess now that magic coin is becoming a lot more prevalent in the current era of Prodigy, now I really want to rank this era a lot lower, because I really hate this new magic coin system. But I guess it's like the same as level up, but slightly worse because it's more expensive. Okay, now what about plus membership? $14.95 a month. You get access to the science subject. I mean, I guess that's something. And it's the same thing, but you get 720 magic coin per month. I mean, I guess it's a little bit better than the core membership, but $15 is a lot, bro. Okay, finally the ultra membership. I can already tell this is going to be a huge scam. Up to 720 magic coin per month plus 880 monthly bonus, $19.95 per month. All ultra benefits in the Prodigy English game, and the science subject, and I guess you get more treasure track items, but that's really it. I mean, I guess if you really want to play Prodigy English, this could be somewhat worth it. But I don't think it's much better than level up membership in old Prodigy. So yeah, it definitely makes sense that none of these are above B tier, because none of these are really good. Membership is really just a scam nowadays. I mean, it always has been, really. Alright, now finally, the last tier list we're gonna make is a Prodigy YouTubers tier list from 2016 to the present. But I am not going to rank them based on how good they are, because that's boring. But if you want me to do that for a future video, I might do it. What I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to rank them based on how many times they put the word insane in their title, because everyone knows that insane is the best form of clickbait. So if you have more insanes in your titles, then you will be in the S tier, otherwise you'll be in the D tier. So let us begin with one Dr. Genius. Now I actually have to go on my other monitor right now and see how many times they used insane. Okay, this guy has over 1,000 videos. So I'm just gonna look at the last the last 5 years. But even that might be too much. Okay, let's stop here. How many times? Oh. Insane update. Insane huge secret. Okay, 2 times. Okay. I probably should have put numbers to describe each ranking, but I think if you do it 0 times, you're in the D tier. C tier if you do it at least once, and then we'll go from there. So he did it twice. So C tier. Okay, Camden Bell. Of course, this guy. Okay. Let's start here. Oh, okay, 10 times. Legend Fashion Show for $100. Insane. Old Prodigy in 2022 is insane. The craziest Prodigy Math boss battles. Insane. Insane. Okay, yeah, okay. 10 times, I think it's quite a lot. You will go in the B tier. Okay, now Camden Plays. No, oh my god, 19 times. Yeah, okay, I guess that makes sense. Camden Plays is definitely the more clickbait of the 2 channels. So A tier. Okay, CRF. I know he doesn't really do Prodigy videos. He hasn't done that for like 4 years now, but I guess we'll look at when he actually did do Prodigy videos. The sad thing is I can't even find his channel by searching it up. I have to go to my subscribed list. But okay. He has not used the word insane so far. Yeah, not a single time. Wow. Sierra, if you suck, man, you gotta learn to clickbait more. Okay, David A. I'm pretty sure like I've seen a bunch of insanes from you. Damn, you have 700 videos? That's crazy. I used to think that I had a lot of videos, but I don't think I even have 200. 92 times. Okay, S tier. I might have to rank all of these guys lower then. Okay, yeah. Now, okay, Flame Fox. Clickbait, but not insane type of clickbait. But it's definitely quite another type of clickbait. You only have 66 videos. I thought you had way more videos than this. I guess you deleted half of them. Damn, why would you delete your only good videos? Now all you have is clickbait. Okay, 6. That is not bad. But not great either. Okay. Flame Phoenix. Oh, you changed your profile picture. It's no longer this one. Okay. Well, I'm sorry for using this one. I did not realize you also have 652 videos. What? And you only have 2,000 subscribers. Damn, I think we should give Flame Phoenix some more recognition, bro. 27 times. That's definitely something. You will go in the A tier, my guy. Freezik. Another clickbait as hell channel. I like how the first video that pops up when I search up Freezik is actually Prodigy Prince's video on the truth about Freezik. Oh wow, his first video is literally just clickbait face. Okay, insane. 31 times. A tier. Maybe S tier. If not enough people go in the S tier. Okay, now me. I know I used it at least once in one of my latest videos. But hopefully I didn't use it more than 5 times. Also, my last video, my first ever video on this channel was almost uploaded exactly 6 years ago. It will be on December 26th. I don't know if I'm gonna upload this after December 26th or not. It's December 23rd as I'm recording this right now. But let's see. Insane. Oh no. I did use it quite a few times. Insane Prodigy battles, insane arena challenges, insanely hard, insane pet squirrel, insane Prodigy battle, insane. Okay. Damn, even 5 years ago I already knew about that word. Being good for clickbait. Okay. I think Flamefox was 9 times, so I would be over here. Okay. I forgot who this guy is. Is that Glub Glub King? Yeah, Ariane and King Gaming. 758 videos. Oh my goodness. Also 7 times. Nice. But I know you definitely have some more clickbait titles in there that are not insane. So I'll put you above myself. Okay, KXT Gaming. Insane. Okay, not bad. Actually not great. You only used it 5 times out of the last 4 years. You gotta do better, man. Okay. Pokemon AB 101. Well, now he's known as Miku Prodigy. He doesn't upload anymore. But he's definitely someone I looked up to back in grade 3. I don't think he would use Insane at all. I don't remember him doing that. Okay, 174 videos. All of these are 8 years ago. He was one of the OGs. 10 years ago. Oh my god. Really? Oh no. Oh, he used it once, but it's not even for Prodigy. It's for Plants vs. Zombies. So I'm not counting that. Do better. Well, you're not uploading anymore. That's fine. Moyer, man, I think you deleted all of your Prodigy videos. Oh, you have one. What? You still have one Prodigy video. Prodigy gameplay part 1, 6 years ago. Well, looking at your other videos, I don't think you would be the type of guy to put insane that many times, but I can see you putting it at least once. So you will be here. By the way, if you guys like Minecraft, you should definitely check out Moyer Man's channel. This guy's videos are like actually insane. Unironically. Okay, oh god, Mr. Inquiry. I'm pretty sure this guy spams the word insane in his titles. And you have 3,000 videos. You used more than one no, actually, you used almost one insane per day. 359 of your videos use insane. Oh my god, okay. S tier. I don't think anyone can top that. Okay, Prodigy Math Game Player. I'm gonna guess your level is gonna be at around the same as David A's. I think David A was like 93. 94, wow. You beat David A by 1, I think. Good job. Okay, Prodigy Math Pirate. 0 insanes. Wow. Even without clickbaiting, this guy has 188 videos and 18.8k subscribers even now. That's awesome. Okay, Prodigy Prince. Okay. 45. Wow. Is that good enough to go into A tier though? I forgot how many freeze accounts, so it's probably not 45. You'll go in the A tier. Not enough for the S tier. Okay, Prodigy Pro. I just want to know how this guy got 28,000 subscribers in such a little amount of time. 16 insanes. Okay, same level of clickbait as Camden Plays. And that's where you go. Oh, everyone's favorite Prodigy Queen. Her entire channel is just clickbait. Oh my god. It's good to see that she's about to go under 10,000 subscribers. Wow, she used it once. Nice. Okay. Silver Shadow. Silver Shadow would not be the type of guy to use insane even once. Wow, 7,000 subscribers is actually pretty impressive back in the day. He hasn't uploaded for 5 years now. Okay. 0. Yeah. Makes sense. He's like the least clickbait guy here. Actually, this should be here. Yeah. Okay. Uh, what's this guy's name again? He used to be called Pro Videos, but he changed his name at some point. Sharper Wygo. 572 videos. I remember he just did a bunch of gameplay videos without editing and stuff. But now it looks like he uploads other stuff now. I actually don't know what this is. The last time he uploaded Prodigy was 2 years ago. 0 times. Yep. Okay, finally. Tsunami 67. Wow. Oh, you uploaded 1,000 videos in just 3 years. Wow, and you only got relevant like 1 year ago. Okay. Insane. 54 times. I mean, that puts you in the lowest S tier. Good job. You're a good clickbaiter. Alright. Yeah, I think that's going to be all the tier lists for this video. If you watched this far, thanks a lot, because I think this is probably going to be like an hour-long video or something. But yeah, let me know how you would rank all of these things, I guess. And I will see you in the next one.